Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44 in October of 2009. Yes, it's fall. It's an exciting time. So a lot of stuff is happening, good and bad. And I was just watching the news with David Letterman and the sex scandal. And we'll see what comes about it. I like David Letterman. I don't like what has ended up happening. I feel bad for him and for his staff. It's interesting when something like that happens. I think about all the sex weirdo stuff that happened in Scientology. And yes, I generally speak about Scientology, so I'm going to relate it to that. But it's like, how come that's not on the news? How come Wally Hanks, who used to, rape young kids, that's not on the news? How come Tommy Gorman's wife, who was raped by a supervisor repeatedly, that's not on the news? Because it's Scientology. And they've got, the opinion leaders where it's okay, because nobody wants to get on the bad side of them. But do you know that no Sea Org member, which are the top guys that work round the clock for Scientology, they're not allowed to have children anymore at all. Now you could say, well, that's what they believe. That's what it is. But if you really understand where it came from, and I do because they called me about it, it came from Scientologists ignoring their children for years and years and years, right? They had them next to their tables while they were, regging people or trying to get things done within Scientology. So finally the kids got old enough and they joined gangs. And OSA, the Office of Special Affairs, Scientology's legal PR team, called me up and said, come on over here, we've got to handle this. It's a huge emergency, right? And I don't know why they'd call me, but I guess I was good at handling a lot of stuff. So, just general common sense stuff, right? So I go over there and I say, what's up? And they say, the kids have joined gangs and we don't know what to do. It's a nightmare. They're really rock solid in these gangs. It's okay, no problem. I'll go talk to them, right? So I go to try to talk to them, and Scientology has their code of honor, right? And one of the things in it is never desert a comrade in need, in danger, or in trouble, right? So I'm talking to the kids, and they bring that up, and they go, hey, that's per the tech, and these are our comrades, right? And I knew what they meant because I had lived with them for, or alongside of them as a public person. I had watched them for years. I had talked to people and said, you need to let the Sea Org members spend more time with their children, right? Because they weren't allowed to. It wasn't that they didn't want to. It's that they were just worked to death by L. Ron Hubbard and then later David Miscavige. And, they had no time to see their kids. I think if their statistics were up, they got, a couple hours on the weekend to see their kids. It was pathetic. And in Clearwater, it's even worse. They live out in some horrible motel. I went there, with cockroaches, and it's disgusting. It's like no child should have to be raised that way. But is that on the news? No, because nobody wants to get in trouble with the Church of Scientology. But you know what? I and a bunch of other people are going to keep talking out about it because it needs to be known. It's not right, okay? It really isn't right. And it isn't okay that just because they're behind the curtain of religion, nobody talks about it. It's like, no. You saw what happened with the Catholics. Somebody finally pinned them to it, and, with the sex with the young boys, and they got nailed. And Scientology has done a lot of stuff. I'm just mentioning a couple of things. I mean, there's a ton of stuff behind it. And I hope the media looks into it. I really do. But in the meantime, there you go. That's my story for today. And I hope each of you are having an excellent week. I am. And I'm happy it's getting chilly. It's finally getting cooler. It's been very hot here in LA, and it's finally cooling down. So that's always good. All right, so have an excellent end of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.